Hello all, welcome to Mysteries with Divina. I am your host, the Godmother of Mysteries. Before we get into today's story though, as usual, we have a riddle. And today's riddle is: a man killed his wife, and even though people watched him do so, no one could accuse him of murdering his wife. Why? Stay tuned until the end of the show to find out the answer. So today's story, I'm sure as you already know based on the title, is an unsolved mystery. The unsolved mystery of the Springfield Three. Now I put off reading you an unsolved mystery because quite frankly, I hate them. I just dislike it. It gets under my skin because, I want to know that the bad guy got caught. You know what I'm saying? I want to know that the person that did the wrong is paying. But doesn't always work out that way, right? But if you believe in God, then you know that whatever this person's got coming to them, they will get, whether it be in this life or the next. But anyway, so the Springfield Three. It's called the Springfield Three because three women went missing. Now, let's start at the beginning. We're going all the way back. Suzanne Streeter, 19, Stacy McCall, 18, graduated from Kickapoo High School in Springfield, Missouri. Kickapoo? Really? I'm sorry. Maybe it's childish of me, but come on. Kickapoo? Couldn't have come up with a different name than that. Whose idea was that? Anyway, they graduated on June 6, 1992. Their celebration plans included attending multiple graduation parties that evening, after which they would stay the night at a hotel in Branson. If you never heard of Branson, Missouri, it's a touristy place. Got a lot of attractions, things to do. The people in the Midwest need something to do as well. The following morning, they planned to head out to a water park with a group of friends and fellow graduates by 10:30 p.m. However, they no longer felt like making the drive to Branson and decided they'd go the next morning instead. They would stay the night over at their friend Janelle Kirby's house. McCall made a call to her mother, Janice, and she was checking in to let her know about the change of plans, and this turned out to be the last time Janice spoke to her daughter. Streeter and McCall then attended a party at the home of one of Janelle's neighbors and stayed there until well after midnight. By around 2 a.m., the girls were ready to go to bed, but they found that Janelle's house was too crowded with visiting family members for them to sleep over. At this point, the friends decided they would instead spend the night at Streeter's house, which she shared with her 47-year-old mother, Cheryl Levitt, at 1717 East Delmar Street. Levitt, a single mother, worked as a cosmetologist at New Attitudes Hair Salon. She and her daughter had only just moved into this home the previous April. She also had a son, Bart, from whom she had become estranged in recent years. Streeter and McCall assured Janelle that they'd come back in the morning and that the three of them would go to the water park together. Alrighty then. When Suzanne Streeter and Stacy McCall did not show up at Janelle's house the next morning, Janelle tried to call them multiple times but received no answer, and initially she wasn't worried, believing that the two had likely slept in after their late night. But as hours had passed, Janelle started to think that she should go over to East Delmar Street just to check things out. Janelle and her boyfriend Mike went over and found something odd right away. The front porch light was broken and the glass was all over the porch. Specifically, the globe encasing the bulb was damaged, but not the bulb itself. They didn't find this concerning, however, and Mike even swept up the glass for them, thinking no more about it. The cars of each of the three women were also parked out front, although it was notable that Streeter's car, which she parked in the exact same spot every day, was in a different location. Had someone else been parked there when Streeter and McCall arrived? Janelle and Mike found the front door unlocked, but no one was inside. They assumed they had just missed them and that their friends had already left for the water park. However, as they were about to leave, the phone rang. Janelle picked it up and was greeted by an unfamiliar male voice saying lewd things on the other end of the line, so she hung up. As it turned out, Streeter had been receiving prank phone calls recently, so she wasn't particularly disturbed. After this, Janelle and Mike left. When Streeter and McCall did not show up at the water park, Janelle felt that they should go back to the house to see if the girls were back yet. But when she and Mike arrived, the only person they found was Janice McCall, Stacy's mother, who was hoping to find her daughter there, but the home was still empty. They investigated further and found bizarrely that the purses of the three women lined up on the floor in Streeter's bedroom. Levitt's dog, Cinnamon, was in the home as well and was acting frantic. Nothing appeared to have been stolen, and there were no signs of forced entry. Janelle also discovered that a message had been left on the answering machine in their absence. When she listened to it, she heard the same male voice from the phone earlier, once again making crude remarks. Unfortunately, she accidentally deleted this message. Finally, they called the police. While waiting for them to arrive, Janelle made the questionable choice to clean the house, thus contaminating what was a probable crime scene. I'm sorry, what? What is going on with this woman? First of all, let's go back a little bit. She accidentally deleted the message? Okay, this may date myself a little bit, but when I had an answering machine, way back when, there was a button. There was a specific button that said delete, okay? So, how do you accidentally delete it? I mean, you see the button, you hit it, and it gets deleted, okay? So first thing that just kind of throws me off. But I don't know, maybe that answering machine was different. Then, she starts cleaning? Why? Okay, first of all, things are fishy, okay? No woman is going to leave the house without her purse, unless she doesn't usually carry a purse. But, I, as a woman myself, I always leave the house with my purse. Why? Because it's got my identification, it's got my house keys, it's got everything that I need. You know what I'm saying? So, you know that something's wrong. Their purses are there, their vehicles are all there, but they are not there. And then you're going to start cleaning the place? And this is after she called the police. So what, she was just killing time until they showed up? I don't understand. That's all very fishy to me. I don't know. I never been in that position, right? Where, maybe the thing wasn't really processing yet. Maybe she thought everything was going to be okay. And she just, I don't know. But I tell you what, I don't have any friends that would come over and just start cleaning my house for the heck of it. Maybe I need to get new friends. The Springfield Police Department declared the three women missing, and within days, the FBI showed up to investigate. During the first 2 weeks, law enforcement and local residents launched multiple community-wide searches, which included divers looking for bodies in Lake Springfield and the James River. More than 20,000 missing persons posters, some of which still remain in storefronts today, went up throughout Springfield during this time. The case also received tremendous media attention, inspiring profiles on CBS's 48 Hours, America's Most Wanted, and The Oprah Winfrey Show. We're talking suspects. Who could have done this, right? So, first in line was Streeter's ex-boyfriend, Dustin. He was one of the first names to come up as a suspect. He had recently been arrested for being part of grave robbing gangs and was allegedly the reason why Streeter broke up with him. Alright, pause. First of all, I guess she had some sense to her because she broke up with him because the man was robbing graves. Second of all, what a terrible career choice, really. I mean, just think of the smell that must come out of there when you open up a coffin. Ooh. Disgusting. I don't even want to know what that smell smells like. And then, you're robbing the coffin. So, I'm guessing most of these items that they're taking are on the person, jewelry, right? So that means you got to touch the dead body as well. Oh my goodness. What's wrong with these people? Get a job. Anyway. Additionally, she reportedly gave a statement to the police implicating him in the crime and was going to be testifying against Dustin in a few months. Wow. Isn't that convenient? She goes missing just a couple of months before she got to testify against somebody who's out doing nasty crimes. Although none of the young men in this gang had a solid alibi for that night, there was nothing to definitively link them to the disappearance of Streeter, McCall, and Levitt, and each passed a polygraph test. Bart Streeter, the estranged brother, was suspected as well, due to his history of alcoholism and aggression, as well as the falling out he had with both his mother and his sister. Bart's alibi was that he had been drinking and then went home and passed out. Since he had been alone, no one could corroborate his story, but there was no evidence to link him to his sister's disappearance, and he also passed the polygraph test. In February 2019, Bart was arrested on suspicion of public intoxication and disorderly conduct. Well, you can see that his life did not get any better since the 90s. As well as attempted false imprisonment from an unrelated incident in Tennessee. Police once again investigated him for possible involvement in the Springfield case and eventually ruled him out as a suspect. And then we got another weird detail. A witness in the neighborhood reported having seen a green van in the area just 2 days after the 3 Springfield women went missing. Supposedly, a blonde woman was driving, and the witness heard an aggressive male voice tell her, "Don't do anything stupid." The witness pointed out a picture of Suzanne Streeter to the authorities, claiming that that was the woman who was driving the van. In 2002, the police investigated leads about a suspicious green van that belonged to a group of men working at a concrete company in Webster County. Investigators brought in cadaver dogs and recovered bones from the site. The skeletal remains were tested but deemed to be too old to be connected to the case. Okay, but my question is, whose bones are they? They belong to somebody else that got killed? What's the deal? Do we just overlook them? Do we just throw them back into the dirt because they don't belong to the people that we're looking for right now? I don't know. There's no more information about that, but that's all I'm saying. Anyway, then we got another interesting character, you could say, Mr. Robert Craig Cox, a convicted murderer who lived across the street from Streeter and Levitt at the time of their disappearance. He was interviewed by Springfield police several times over the years as a suspect. In 1996, investigative reporter Dennis Graves interviewed Cox in a Texas prison and asked him about the Springfield Three. And this is what happened. Cox said, "I know that they are dead. I'll say that. I know that." Graves responds, "That's not a theory." Cox says, "I just know they are dead. That's not my theory, I just know that. There's no doubt about that." Cox didn't provide any more information, though he was later quoted as saying he would elaborate on what he knows once his mother has passed away. Okay, I'm sorry, what? You're already in jail for murder. There's nothing more that poor woman needs to know. You could not disappoint her anymore, my man. You really could not. So, if you know something, then you should just say it. You're already spending the rest of your life in jail, okay? There's no way around it. Anyway, later that year, the interview was subpoenaed by authorities and submitted as evidence to the grand jury. However, no charges were handed down. It's the thing, you just don't know. I mean, the man, he's already in jail, so it really doesn't matter if he did it or not at this point. He's already in jail for murder. But the thing is that maybe he was just seeking attention. You know what I mean? Maybe he just wanted to have a good chuckle to himself. Oh, Or maybe he did do it and figured, what does it matter? I'm already in jail. I'm already paying for other crimes. It doesn't matter if this case ever gets solved or not. But the thing is, their bodies, they should be laid to rest properly. And they won't get that, unfortunately. In 2007, a tip provoked a local rider to hire an engineer and use ground-penetrating radar to scan a parking garage at the Cox South Hospital. The engineer said he picked up on 3 distinct shapes that were consistent with human remains. However, the parking garage in question was built a year after the disappearance, and police felt it was unlikely that the bodies wouldn't have turned up during its excavation. Lisa Cox, a spokeswoman for the police department, stated, Digging up the area and subsequently reconstructing this structure would be extremely costly, and without any reasonable belief that the bodies could be located here, it is illogical to do so. And for those reasons, SPD does not intend to. Investigators have determined this lead to not be credible. Well, to a certain degree, I understand. Digging up a whole parking lot, and then if what you find is not bodies, woo, you gotta put everything back, and then it was for nothing? Ooh, that would be expensive, so I understand. As of yet, there have been no further developments in the case, and unfortunately, there is no hard evidence for law enforcement to work with. It's as if the woman simply just vanished into thin air. Former Springfield police detective and current Bolivar police chief Mark Webb said the case changed the way local authorities looked at crime. They started looking for computer programs. What were they going to do if they got another case of that kind of a magnitude? Still haunted by the cold case, Webb questions himself and his department. Is there something more we could have done? Is there another question we could have asked? Was that person lying to us? Could we have dug deeper? Just those questions of how could we have done better. Suzanne Streeter, Stacy McCall, and Cheryl Levitt have now been missing for over 30 years. And that, my friends, is the end of today's story. Unfortunately, as I said, I hate to do this to you, but this one really has no good ending. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed today's story, and before you go, the answer to today's riddle. And the answer to today's riddle is: the man's job was that of an executioner, and his wife received the death penalty. And what did you think of that riddle? Did you guess the answer? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. There will be more coming very, very soon. I promise. Thank you all again, and I'll see you all next time.